Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have another 4K review, this time Carlitos Way from Arrow Video. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review, this time Carlitos Way from Arrow Video. But before we start, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and also soundtracks on vinyl. This channel is dedicated to physical media collecting with a focus on being a collector within the European Union. And besides that, you can also find me on Instagram with the same handle, Physical Media EU, where you can find detailed pictures of all the items that I review. Now yes, let's begin by taking a look at this release from Arrow Video. So here it has this new alternative cover for the movie. On the back is black, but this presentation had a J card, right? Like most of these full sleeve Arrow releases. Here of course you have a description of the movie and the content of the discs and some technical details about the disc, which we'll go over in a little bit. So let's open this up and see what we find here. So as in other releases from Arrow, we have poster, booklet, and the movie here. So let's begin with the poster, which is double-sided, like most of these Arrow Video ones. So here we have the same cover we saw in the slipcase. Looks very good, and here the original cover. So both actually are very nice. Moving on, we have the booklet here, which also looks great. And let's take a look at the contents first. Remember, you can always pause the video here and take a closer look. And then let's take a look at some of the parts of the inside. All the text is in English, and it's quite small, but I guess that's normally how it is in these Arrow Video ones. Here there's also some production notes, and also some photos side to side, which I'm skipping to show because that one exactly was a spoiler. But at the end there's also some notes about the restoration, production credits, and so on. So about the restoration, it says Carlitos Way presented in the 2:35:1 aspect ratio, DTS, DTS-X, DTS HD Master Audio 7.1 and 5.1 audio. The UHD presents the film graded in HDR10, no Dolby Vision in this case, while the Blu-ray presents the film graded in standard dynamic range. The film was restored and supplied in 4K by NBC Universal, and all the audio mixes were remastered by NBC Universal. So basically what it's saying is that this transfer is exactly the same as in the previous 4K release. And in case you haven't heard about this movie before, Carlitos Way is another Brian De Palma film, who also made Scarface with Al Pacino as well. And for many, this movie is as good as Scarface. I think at least it's very underrated and many times forgotten to the shadow of Scarface. But if you enjoy Scarface and haven't seen this one, definitely you should give it a try. This one also has an amazing cast, so let me read that for you in case I forget someone, but of course it has Al Pacino, Sean Penn, Penelope Ann Miller, John Leguizamo, of course, who was very young, and even Viggo Mortensen. And it's not listed here, but there's also an Argentinian comedian that was part of this film called Porcel. And I remember reading fun facts about this movie, and Porcel didn't speak any English, so it was Al Pacino said that it was difficult to work with him, and Porcel has some lines in English in this movie, but he learned them phonetically, and it was not very sure what he was saying. I have to say that as a comedian, I never liked Porcel too much. It was not my kind of humor, but I think that his role in this movie was actually quite fine. Now let's move on to the movie here. So in the back you have the same content as in the J card. Sorry for the reflection, but that's why I post pictures on Instagram. And here's an interesting detail. Because this case is black, right, and not transparent like in other releases, you can actually not see that the cover is actually reversible. And here you have the original cover as well. So up to you which one you wanna keep. So now taking a look at the discs. Here is the 4K, and then the second disc is the Blu-ray and has most of the extras. We'll talk about that in a second. Additionally, as you just saw, there's a set of art cards right here. So let's take a look at those. It's 7 art cards. All of them have the same background. So this is all like this. But let's take a look at the front. So here is Sean Penn, who was the lawyer of Carlitos, right here. Then Carlitos' girlfriend, and some more stills from and here with the guy from the Bronx. Here is Leguizamo again. And then this I found a little weird, just a small detail, but we're recording a review, so why not? I'm not sure if you can see here, but some of the cards on the back are bright and the other one are matte finish. I don't know why. On the front they look the same, but in the back it's 3 and 3. So now we can move on and talk about the picture quality. So this movie here in this release is presented in 4K and also on Blu-ray. And even though there's no Dolby Vision, the 4K disc has HDR. And the movie is quite dark in many parts, and also it has several scenes inside discos, so there are neons and so on. And especially in those scenes, the HDR really makes a good work and creates a big difference with the Blu-ray. Now, with that said, I think in general the movie looks very good, and as I said at the beginning, it's the same transfer as Universal, so it's not really an upgrade if you had that version before. It's just like you get all the Arrow video packaging and extras, which of course has a lot of value as well. But the movie per se, the movie quality is gonna be the same. And even though it is a good transfer, it's not the kind of 4K that will blow your mind. It looks very good for what the movie is, but I was not very impressed by it. And regarding the audio mix, I thought that it sounded very good. Maybe I was not that impressed by the soundtrack of the movie, but more about the sound effects of the movie. There are some chasing scenes, some shootings of course as well, some underground scenes, outdoor, and I thought that those actually sounded pretty good. A very good disc that gives a great experience when watching the movie. Now about regions of subtitles, this is a region B Blu-ray, but of course the 4K disc is multi-region. Now with that said, there are only 2 extras that come on the 4K disc, which are 2 audio commentaries, but all the other extras come on the Blu-ray. So if you are outside of Europe or have a player that doesn't play Region B discs, that can be an issue because then you won't be able to access the bonus features of the release. And the audio and the subtitles both come in the original language only, English. Now let's go over the bonus features, which I will also check here from the back of the movie. As I said before, the 4K disc only has 2 two bonus features, which are 2 audio commentaries, where one of them is with Matt Soler Seitz, author of the Wes Anderson collection and the Sopranos session, and the other one is Dr. Douglas Kesey, author of Brian De Palma's Split Screen, A Life in Film. Now the Blu-ray, here is where most of the bonus features are. One of them is Carlito and the Judge, a brand new interview with Judge Edwin Torres, author of novel Carlitos Way and After Hours, on which the screenplay of Carlitos Way is based on. Then Cutting Carlitos Way, a brand new interview with editors Bill Pankow and Christina Bowden. De Palma's Way, a brand new appreciation by the film critic David Edelstein. Then there's a featurette about New York locations of the movie. And then there is an archival interview with the director Brian De Palma. Besides that, there's also a making of Carlitos Way, that's also an archival documentary, and then also an image gallery and a trailer. So, as usual, a very complete release from Arrow Video, totally recommended. Now, about other releases, there is that standard Universal release from a few years ago, which has the same transfer. The movie looks exactly the same, but in the Arrow Video case, you get a much more complete package. So my recommendation is, of course, if you like this movie, go for this release. And that's it for the review. Remember that I will post detailed pictures of this release on Instagram. You can find me there with the same handle, Physical Media EU. And I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched this movie or if you have watched Scarface and are looking forward to watch this one. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.